Hello, Seiiti Arata. Imagine Bob. Bob meets Alice. She's the life of every party. Her smile, so charming. She's always chatting with new people, making friends wherever she goes. Bob feels so attracted to her and thinks of her as the goddess of charisma, and they start dating. But after a few fun months, they break up. Why? Well, Bob now says that it is because Alice is an attention junkie. At parties, Bob starts feeling small as Alice gets surrounded by her admirers. Her social butterfly trait that attracted Bob now makes him jealous and angry. That's quite funny, isn't it? The same quality that drew Bob in eventually drove them apart. But what if this was not the real reason? What if Bob's mind fabricated the story to justify the breakup? Maybe deep down, Bob never really wanted a serious relationship with Alice. He just wanted to have a fun time for a while. Maybe Bob created a false expectation that he could change her once they started the relationship. He had the illusion that she somehow would stop being social. Now Bob confabulates, being too jealous to cover up his lack of long-term interest, or his frustration that Alice didn't change as he expected. While Alice, being popular, and his true jealousy did lead to some arguments, the core issue was not wanting a long-term relationship with someone who would not change. But even he does not know that. Your brain confabulates to make sense of your choices. But its stories might be false. Now here's why this matters to you. Let's say that you broke up because you thought that your partner was too social. You then avoid dating other social people, right? You have to be coherent. You even say no to a good job because it has too many social events. But maybe being social was not the real problem in your old relationship. Your mind made up that story. And that's what you believe in. But now you limit your choices because of a story that might not be completely true. So today we'll learn more about what confabulation is. We'll see how it can change the choices you make. And most importantly, what are the risks involved in believing in your own stories that are not true. You have to learn how to question the stories you tell yourself. Stop for a moment and think about what is really true. Knowing this can help you to make better choices in the future. Confabulating is not the same as lying. Imagine that you ate a cookie from a jar and then somebody asks you, "Why did you eat this cookie?" You might say, "You were hungry." But maybe you were not hungry. Maybe you were just bored. Your mind makes up a reason and then you believe it. This is confabulation. Have you ever caught yourself making up a reason? Why did you do something? You might think, I did this because of that. I chose this job because it is a great opportunity to grow. Or, I broke up with my ex because we were too different. But what if those reasons were just stories fabricated that your brain made up? This is called confabulation. Confabulation has con, which means together, and fabula, which means story or fable. So to put together a story, confabulate. When you don't know why you did something, your unconscious mind will invent an explanation that you think is a fact. However, pay attention. Confabulating is not the same as lying. Because when you lie, you know you're not telling the truth. But with confabulation, your brain actually believes the story it creates. And your brain replaces missing memories with stories, so you should always question your own certainty. Confabulation is a psychological term that describes when your mind creates a false story to replace gaps in your memory or your understanding. You're not doing it on purpose. Your brain is doing it for you. And it is more common than you might think. To stop making mistakes with your memory skills, I highly recommend that you check this special video that we made available at arata.se/intelligence. It has the best method for you to use memory hooks and actually be able to trust your brain. Now, why does confabulation happen? Well, there's a lot of debate. Various experts discuss how confabulation can happen in different settings. It's not just about everyday choices like Alice and Bob dating. It can also happen in medical conditions like amnesia, brain injuries, Korsakoff syndrome, and Alzheimer's disease. Now, in these cases, the brain is working even harder to try to make sense of things. It doesn't matter whether we are talking about a medical condition with some type of a brain injury or someone with a perfectly healthy brain. Everyone with a brain has a need for a clear story. Your brain doesn't like gaps, does not like loose ends. We want everything to make sense. So whenever there is a missing piece in your understanding or in your memory, your brain replaces it with a story that seems to fit, that seems to make sense. Confabulation helps us to understand the world. However, this understanding is often inaccurate. Confabulation is when your brain tries to connect the dots. This sometimes can lead to mistakes, and one kind of these mistakes is called spontaneous confabulation. For instance, imagine your grandma is in a hospital and then in the middle of the night she wakes up thinking that she needs to cook dinner for you. Now, instead of having a long argument telling her that actually she's in a hospital, you could just say, "No worries, Grandma, I've already eaten." And then she calms down and goes back to sleep. Next, there is also provoked confabulation. Whenever you can't remember an answer, you make one up, or you accept something else, something that is random, as truth. For example, imagine you're talking with a friend about a movie, and then you say, "Oh, that movie, that big muscular guy, what is the name?" And then your friend, who is a person who likes to joke around, says, "Oh, yeah, Woody Allen, right?" And you don't recognize the name. You say, yeah. And then your friend starts laughing because you fell for the joke. In a certain way, even daydreaming can also be a form of confabulation. Imagine you work on a startup and you need to research a way to pay your software developers who are based in other countries. Now, in the past you used PayPal, but PayPal suddenly decided to freeze your account. This can happen. So then you start researching Bitcoin, peer-to-peer money, right? You notice that there is an interesting discussion on Bitcoin mining and renewable energy. And then you're interested and you see an article about wind energy turbines killing birds. And that leads you to another article on endangered species. Before you know it, you're deep into a website about the ethics for cloning bald eagles. Now, what? How did you get there? It has nothing to do with your original mission, which is to find a way to pay your staff overseas now that PayPal froze your account. But your brain is very busy connecting the dots that don't really connect. This is a lot like confabulation. It can make you lose a lot of productivity. Honesty is the best policy. Be aware of your habit to just go along, like in that example with Woody Allen. It is better to admit you are not sure. This makes you more self-aware of what you say, and then people will trust you more. Understanding confabulation can help you in your daily life. If you can't remember project details, you can just say that you're going to double check. This is the professional attitude that is expected of you. What your team doesn't want is that you just pretend to know things and give random answers that have nothing to do with reality. In our Intelligence Arata Academy training, we'll see how to improve your brain function, and you can see more details going to arata.se/intelligence. Your brain loves storytelling, but sometimes it gets kind of creative with the facts. But being aware of this will help you to stick to the facts. Knowing when your brain is getting out of control will be very useful. In this way, you make your choices based on what is real, not what is made up. Your brain talks to you, so you have to be sure to question back. Let's look at your everyday life. Imagine that you're choosing between two different jobs. One job pays you more, but the other one is closer to your home. And you pick one that is closer to your home because you tell yourself that you like this work-life balance. It is easier to go there. But maybe deep down you were just afraid that this higher paying job would be too challenging. Your brain makes up a noble reason to protect your self-esteem. Confabulation can also affect your relationships. Let's say that you end a friendship and then you tell yourself it is because your friend was too negative. But maybe the real reason is that you felt insecure about your own life compared to the life of your friend. And once again, your brain creates a whole story that puts you in a better light. Understanding confabulation can be a game changer. It helps you to question the stories you tell yourself. Are they really true? Or are they convenient narratives that your brain has crafted? By being aware of this, you can start to make choices that are more in line with your true feelings, your true values. So the next time you catch yourself justifying a decision, just take a moment. Ask yourself, is this the real reason? Or is this a story that my brain has made up? You might be surprised at what you will discover. Your brain is feeding you stories right now, affecting your choices and your grasp of reality. This is not just lying, this is confabulation. But it is urgent that you do something about it, that you act. Honesty is your best defense. Don't let another moment pass living in a world built on false stories. You have to get the tools you need immediately by visiting arata.se/intelligence.